What does entertainment deserve? Is an interesting question that I want to ponder here when we're going through this article. Because what deserves a series? What deserves a movie? What deserves to be put into a book for our consumption as entertainment for our pastime? Is a good question. I mean, if we look at this article here, the director of Legends of Aang: The Last Airbender, she presumes to think that this movie deserves to have it be in theaters versus being dumped on Paramount Plus, which I think is the rightful place for it. Now, I'll get into that just a moment, but when you are looking at a series or a franchise, you have to think about, okay, where does it make most economical sense? What is going to be the most benefit for us to have on what site and where we can promote it the best? And from what Paramount has seen, the best place for us is on streaming. Apparently, the guys don't think that this is going to make a lot of money for them. It's not going to do all that well. So they're just going to put it onto Paramount Plus and just leave it there. Now, what might cause this thought process? Well, we just kind of have to take a look at what happened to the latest adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action with Netflix, where, yes, it has some great ratings, but didn't blow up. It was not a Stranger Things hit. It was not massively amazing. In fact, for a lot of fans like myself, we have a lot of issues and gripes with it. In fact, I'm gonna be honest, it deviated so much from the show, changed up things so much that by episode 4, I was done. I'm gonna be completely honest with you there. I was like, you know, it's better than the Avatar movie we got back in the day, but still missing a lot of things up for whether you want to say girl power, modern dayisms. It just wasn't that great. It just deviated too much from the actual source material for me to actually appreciate the show that they were trying to present. Now, you can actually go further back and see what kind of damage has happened to the franchise with Legend of Korra. Now, I will state till my dying breath that Legend of Korra was a disaster after season 1. Unlike Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was a continuation of the war, the story of war, how it affects the world, the propaganda, the way that powers fight about it, how people rise up, how they fall, the whole show was about war and the effects on society. It was a theme show about that. Every episode was telling you something, even when you had episodes that weren't really plot related, still had the presence of war and was telling you an aspect about the war that was going on. The Legend of Korra suffered because you never really knew where the show was. It felt janky, disjointed, and I know people make the argument, well, it was going to be canceled season to season. What show isn't going to be canceled? It is your job as the writer to plan far enough ahead and to come up with ideas and how to weave it through. And unfortunately, the way they weaved it through was just piss poor at best. I'm going to just be honest with you there. So we've seen a steady decline in the Avatar storytelling. Still great interesting for the last Avatar, but you're still not able to move forward. What they should have done, in my opinion, is they should have jumped 4 or 5 avatars ahead, kept like giving us hints or flashbacks to Aang's time, give us old fans something to go back to, but tell a great new story that doesn't have to be directly linked to the old Avatar. That's the way that they should have done it. Unfortunately, they're going the Star Wars route where they cannot leave Avatar Aang alone. They want to live in this world, and I think that's where the issue comes from. Now, yes, this director believes in her project, which is great. She says all the right things. She believes in it. She thinks it's going to be fantastic. But at the end of the day, if the people who are supposed to judge it, whether it's going to go great in the theaters or better in a digital release, you didn't unfortunately succeed in that regard. And honestly, I can't really say they're wrong. It doesn't have that much of a significant impact on the wider world. If you release this movie today, I will go see it in theaters, but I can't say anyone else will. I can't say that would be a massive hit, not like when we have K-pop Demon Hunters. That was a surprise hit. It was released on Netflix, and it blew up. It was mega viral. You could have the same thing here with Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. In fact, it should have a better chance of doing that because it's already an established franchise. It has a lot of old fans that should want to go see it. So if it does really well on Netflix, Paramount Plus, then maybe it'll go into theaters. But that's the issue. I don't think it will. Because here's the thing, although I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's still the same story. You're still talking about Aang honestly kind of the least interesting part about Aang's story. His main threat, the war with the Fire Nation, is over. We already kind of know what his history is thanks to the Legend of Korra. Unless you're going to completely dish out Legend of Korra's lore and you're just going to tell a completely new story, which, hey, I'm all for that. Let's do it. Tell something completely brand new. I don't really think that's going to happen, especially since you have your Avatar cartoon show that's going to be coming out later on as well. You kind of want to use this to build into that franchise that's going to be built out for that continued TV show. So, what exactly do we have here? Does this deserve to be put in theaters? Honestly, I don't think so. Think about it from a marketing perspective. It's a shrinking size of a market that doesn't really have that much of a popular fan base. That fan base is shrinking as time goes on because of the stuff you're putting out isn't really doing that great. Like, it's doing fine. It's keeping the franchise afloat to some regard, but it's not bringing in massive new viewers. So it doesn't justify going to the theaters. Whereas if you put on Paramount Plus, you take those people who've just been watching on Netflix to come and focus on Paramount Plus and maybe get their subscription for a month or two. Maybe you can have that. I don't think that this is going to be the hit of K-pop Demon Hunters, whereas you make the good solid argument that maybe that should have gone into theaters first. I don't think so. I think it needed to be on Netflix for a little bit to build up the hype, and then for everyone wanted to go back into theaters. Whereas for Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, I just don't see it, man. I don't think it deserves it. I think it's the right call here to just put it on to Paramount Plus. If it does great there, then I'll go ahead, eat my words, and say, hey, this should have been in the theaters. As someone who is a massive fan of Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, or I should say The Last Airbender franchise, I would like to see a movie in the theaters, but that's my selfish desire. Again, I don't know if they're going to do a good job here, so we'll see. But I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. What are your thoughts on Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender? Do you think this is going to be a phenomenal movie? Do you think the sequel series that comes after will do a good job building upon the lore? And do you think that The Legend of Korra, if it was actually a phenomenal show, would really help build up the franchise? Or is the core reason why the Avatar universe has continued to shrunk? Do you think the Netflix TV show has done little to no aid to the franchise? I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all take care now. Bye for now.